Afternoon. How are you guys doing today? Today is a wonderful, glorious day. I feel refreshed. I got up. I made a sugar scrub. That's what this is. It's a brown sugar coffee peppermint scrub. It's really good. Um, and I cleaned my face with it this morning. I exfoliated my face with it. It feels so fabulous. I feel good. I took a walk. I've talked to a few friends. And the only thing that keeps playing in my head is that song by somebody. I don't think it's Bruno Mars. Somebody. Today I don't feel like doing anything. You know, I can't whistle. I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up the phone. You know, I can't sing. Today I don't feel like doing anything. Yeah, that's me today. That's me today. That's me today. Everybody, come on in. Let's go. Let's get this party started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Yeah, I'm on a singing thing today. You know I can't sing. Now you know. Do you know what time it is? It's tea time. It's tea time. Where you at? Where you at? Behind the preposition at, right? So today, I was sitting here thinking, what are we going to talk about today? What are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? And then I went back to the list of topics that you guys sent me. And Stace, I'm not supposed to say who sent the topic. Anyway, it's not a bad topic. Stace sent some topics, subjects of conversation. Always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. That's what we're going to talk about. Today we're going to talk about always doing your best. And as Ron Swanson on Parks and Rec says, don't half-ass anything, whole-ass everything. Don't half-ass anything. Bruno Mars, good morning. Why are you not showing up over here on Facebook, on my thing? I see your comment. I see. What happened to my people? Good morning, Chelsea. Good morning, Mother. Chelsea, you're so special. Good morning, me and everyone. You're so special. You are special. You're the only one. You're the only one like you. Good morning, Bina. Good morning. Why? Dang it, this thing is not showing my comments again. Remember last time I had an issue with, anyway, so I'll be reading them on the other screen. Always do your best. There are times when, it's so funny. So I'm doing my knitting and I had another request for an AKA Alpha Kappa Alpha hat and scarf set. I'm only doing the pink and green for Alpha Kappa Alphas, right? So I had another request for that set. And I knit the hat. I finished it. I did the scarf. I finished the hat. And right the last stitch that I was about to do, the last row, the finishing row, and I messed up that finishing row. I did the hat a different way than what I had been doing in the past, because you know me, I'm always trying something new. At the wrong time, I'm always trying something new. Let's just see how this works. Yeah, it didn't work. But in order to fix it, I had to take the whole hat apart and start over. I had to take apart the hat, pull all the thread, all the yarn, and redo it from scratch. Now I could have left it. I could have left it. It would have worked. But why would you want to put something out there that represents you that's not done 100% correctly? That is not your best. It's easy to not do your best. It's easy to say, nobody's going to pay attention to that. But you know it's not your best. You know you have not done your best. And every time you see somebody with that scarf, because maybe you're making this particular person, I'm making for this particular set, I'm making for somebody I know. And every time I see that scarf, I'm going to know it's not done right. That there was a mistake in it. And no matter what anybody says, like, oh, it's beautiful, I don't see the mistake. I see the mistake. I know the mistake. I know it is not my best. Don't put your not best out there. Always do your best. Because then you'll always look at it and say, okay, that's the best that I could do. Now, it may not be perfect. Absolutely may not be perfect, but it's the best that you can do. Don't half-ass anything. Whole-ass everything. Good morning, Mark. Don't half-ass anything. When my kids were younger, I would tell them, can't you undo the stitch and redo it? I tried, Chelsea, but because of the way I started this one, the way I ended it was not right. And I know we could talk about that a whole other time. But yeah, I couldn't fix it. I tried. Don't you just hate being an artist? I hate being taught to do my best no matter what. Because sometimes it's not even just about the artistry. It's about when I'm putting contracts together, when I'm filing things, when I'm talking to my kids, when I'm cooking, always do your best. When I'm supporting my friends, always do your best. You have no regrets. You cannot beat yourself up if you did your best. Now, if your best was not good enough, it still is your best. It still was your best. And when you do your best and then you fail, okay, lessons are learned. But the lesson is not next time do it better, next time do your best, next time put your all into it, next time focus more. That's not the lesson. The lesson is this didn't work. I did my best and it didn't work. And that's okay because I did my best. When my kids were in school, I didn't tell them they had to get A's. Well, okay, this one I tell he has to get A's because I know A's is his best. But I didn't tell them you need to get A's. I said you need to do your best. You cannot settle for less. So the C, but my trifling children used to be like, a C is passing. Yes, it's just passing. You don't just want to pass your way through life. You need to do your best. And if your best is a C, no problem. We accept that C. That's your best. I'm sorry. He's coming in from a walk. I don't know who he's talking to. I'm on tea time. Yeah, go ahead. So art is not restricted to one thing. Art is everything in life. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So in that sense, then we're all artists. We all are artists, and we have to tap into our own artistry. Yesterday, for the first time, I was trying to make candy with a candy thermometer. And I was making caramel, Bina. I was making caramel. I know your caramel is coming, but I was like, I used to make caramel all the time, and I haven't made it in a long time. And I've been itching for some caramel. I was actually wanting to make some turtles, with the chocolate and the pecans and caramel. But I lost my caramel recipe. And so, and my recipe was for sauce, not for, the solid gooey caramels. So I was I got ready, and I didn't make my caramel. When I made caramel, I made it with white sugar. I didn't make it with brown sugar. So I was making this caramel with brown sugar, and I'm sitting there, and I'm stirring, and I'm stirring, and I'm stirring, and I'm like, oh my God, this takes forever. And I was thinking about you, Bina, because I was like, no wonder she's not sitting down every day making caramel, because this is a lot of work. So I finished the caramel. I followed the directions. I had my candy thermometer. I followed it all. I poured it out. Man, I tell you what, you eat that stuff, you're going to crack your teeth. It's not soft. It came out more like a toffee, not a caramel. Now, the boy loves it, and the flavor is delicious, but it's not caramel. It's toffee. You're going to crack your teeth on those things. I did eat some of it, though. It's got to suck on it first. Let it soften up a little bit. Delicious, but it's a toffee. So, oh well. But, so I'm going to try again. I'm going to go back to it. Because I miss doing my cupcakes. Yes, my child adopted that lazy theory. Yeah, you can't. I could say, fine, well, you know what? It's what it is, and I'm going to package it up, and I'm going to send it as gifts to people. No, it's not my best. Why would I put my best out there? Why would I put it out there for somebody to see, oh, this is Kai's caramel. Her caramel's hard as hell. Tastes more like toffee. Now, it's delicious. Just you got to be young with strong teeth if you want to eat it. I woke up this morning like, ooh, I'm not doing that again. That's crazy. Let the boy eat that stuff. He's got some years before he needs to be careful with eating that hard candy. Don't worry, Bina. I'm still waiting on yours. Your perfected caramel. Mine is I'm just starting out. I make a caramel sauce though. Yes, I agree. Always your best. Always your best. Now, I'm putting out there right now. I haven't sent it and I am going to send it. I'm terrible with sending things. I'm terrible with, Yeah, it's like a peanut brittle. It's even harder than that, Rose. So Rose is over on YouTube with us. Yes, it's even harder than that, Rose. It's terrible, but it's delicious. It's a vegan caramel. It's a vegan toffee. I have these little gift things. Look, it's already 2, right? This is for Adrian. This is Adrian's little stack. This is my sugar scrub that I made this morning. This is a tea bath in here, and this is the shaving cream. That's all. These are the samples. Remember the Adrian one at the time, and when I did the little raffle, Adrian or little whatever it was, Adrian won the shaving cream and the tea bath. Well, since it's taking me so long to send it to her, I'm also gonna throw in some sugar scrub. If I were selling this stuff, it wouldn't be packaged this way. This isn't my best. This isn't my best if I'm selling it. But if I'm just giving it to you as a sample, yeah, this is the best we gonna do right now. And I'm okay with that. And I'm not mad because guess what? When you finish using this, this is a Glad container. So when she finishes this, she can wash it out and store some vegetables in there, store some salad dressing, store whatever, take it use it to pack her lunch with, right? Same thing with this one. You can use it, you can reuse it. So to me, giving it to them this way is a sample. I'm not selling it at this point. I've just made it. It's a sample. So here you can have it. Enjoy it. I love it. I did the sugar scrub on my face today. My face feels glorious. So right now that's my best and that's okay. I'm okay with that being my best. Now, I was not okay with my best being this Ziploc bag. I was not okay with that. That's not my best. So no, I couldn't send that. I had to wait. Until I could find something that I was okay using as a package to send something to someone. Exactly, Rose. I'm saving the planet because it's reusable. Exactly. And that's how. And even this tin container. Honestly, this tin container is reusable because you could put spices in here. You could put whatever you want in here. You can put little buttons. When buttons break off of things, I need some place to hold my buttons that break off of things because I never really sew it back on. But I do have a whole container of buttons in my house. Just in case you need a button, I got one. But that's my best right now. I'm okay with that. My best is not your best. Now maybe my mother would say, I'm not sending it out like that. Or Bina would say, I can't send my caramels out this way. Maybe I would be okay with it in a particular way that Bina would not be okay with, or Rose or Elaine or Chelsea would not be okay with, or Tobiah would not be okay with. My best is not your best. Your best is not my best. So while we are saying always do your best, we are not saying measure your best next to the next person. If you do that, sometimes you're going to start beating yourself up because you're not meeting their standard. You have to set your own standard. You have to always live by your own standard, but your own standard should always be your best. Not C, Chelsea Mack. C is nobody's best unless it is your best. Because trust me, if I was taking a statistics class, C might be my best. And I would be absolutely okay with that. I'm an A student generally, but if I get a C, I'm gonna get a C. And I know that C is well deserved because I worked hard and that's all I was able to accomplish, and that's fine. Maybe if I got a C on something, then I would realize, okay, my best may include getting tutoring. That may be my best. Your best doesn't always have to just be what you are capable of doing by yourself. It may be what you are capable of doing with a little bit of support. And understanding that you need that support is still doing your best, because your best is recognizing where I need help and asking for that help. That's still you doing your best. So when we say always do your best, we don't mean settle for when your best is not enough to accomplish whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. Because I want to be clear to clarify it that way. Your best is always enough, but it may not be enough to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And in that case, you get support. I got a B in stats, which was surprising since my best is usually a C in math classes. But what did you do in order to up your best, Chelsea? What did you do to surpass your best? You got extra help, you studied more. So your best in math was not really a C. Your best in math is that B. So now your new standard for math is that B. Why? Because all of the work that you did to get the B is your best. In your math classes, when you weren't doing all of that work, you weren't succeeding the way you did on that B, but you put in a little bit of extra work, you recalibrated. Okay, this is what I did last time. This is what I need to do. I need to up my game. Sometimes your best is not good enough. How do you improve your best? When I say it's not good enough, I mean it's not good enough to accomplish what you need to accomplish. Again, your best is always good enough. You are 100% committed to whatever it is that you're doing. Can you guys hear my son in the background? Because if you can, I need to tell him to shut up. I hear him, but I'm not sure how the sound is being picked up by you guys. Yeah, I think you can hear him. Let me know if you can hear him in the background. I like that idea. If we, okay, thanks, Rose. Hey, Etienne, we can hear you. As if that's going to change. And we can still hear you. As if that's going to change anything. You need to hang it up, boy. And he's explaining why he has to go. But he's taking forever to explain. So that's why you still hear him in the background. He's still, okay, sorry. Etienne, you need to shut it down. The game, all of that stuff. Shut it down. You're loud. And get off of the phone. Yeah, it's not going to be too long. Get off. Well, it was the only class I had, and it was a condensed course, so I had it every day. So I didn't have an option but to study every single day. We had a test every week. With other classes during regular semester, I can't give it the same amount of attention. Let's not say can't. Now you know what you need to do. You see how much attention you need to give it. So now you know I can do better, but in certain situations, I need this to have my full attention. It's not that you can't. It's that you didn't understand that the extra attention on that would work the way that it worked for you. So that's fantastic. There are classes. When I was in college, my university, Oklahoma State University, had a horrible math department, horrible. And it was recommended that people take math during, no, it wasn't, no, sorry. I finished my education at at UMSL, and that's where it was. I think UMSL had a bad math department or something, and it was recommended that we all go over to University of Missouri at St. Louis is UMSL. It was recommended that we take our math class in the summertime at the junior college. So I did. That's what I did. I took my math at the junior college because the program at UMSL, or one of the classes. Look, I can't keep it straight. The point is, I took my math class, one class during the summer where it was the only thing I was focusing on. I didn't necessarily struggle in math, but it helped. I mean, I got an A in that class, and there we go. Of course, I couldn't explain most of it. The teacher asked me to be a tutor. I'm like, no, because I don't know what I'm doing. So the thing is that, good morning, Patricia. So the thing is, as we move through every day, everything we do should be our best. And if you are not prepared to give your best, to do your best, don't commit to doing. If you commit to doing something, let what you do always be your best. And if you can't give your all, your best, if you can't whole ass do it, don't half-ass do it. Just don't do it. That is okay. You don't have to accept every challenge. You don't have to do everything people ask you to do. You don't have to participate in everything. You don't have to jump on board with everything. You don't have to and should not overextend yourself to the point that you cannot give everything your 100%, your absolute best. If you find that you are, like, for example, Chelsea, in your situation, if you find that you have all of these classes and one of your classes is you're not doing so great in that class, pull back just a little bit. Pull back. It is okay to pull back so that you can propel yourself forward doing your best where you need to do your best, which is everywhere, right? She was working on her master's. Your 22-year-old was working on her master's at WashU and teaching at UMSL. She spent every day in math lab helping me. Right. I see. So your 22-year-old at UMSL was a math person. That was awesome. Right. Your best may mean making adjustments. I'm sitting here. I tell you what, Rose laughs at me. Darlene laughs at me when I keep on taking stuff apart. My sister is like, girl, leave it. Nobody will know. I know. That's all that matters. I don't care what you think of me. I don't care what others think of me. I care what I think of me. I care whether I can sit down and say, that is my best. Now, so when I did, I'm going to grab it. Hold on. Sometimes doing your best means taking apart, putting it together, taking it apart. So when I knit this hat, I took it apart, started all over, redid the whole thing. And now I'm like, whoo, I'm done. Let me put my puff on the top. So I get ready to put my puff on the top. I create the puff. And, you create this puff by winding yarn around this contraption. And then you cut it, and then you tie it, and you bring it together, and it's a ball. So there, if you want your puff a particular size, there's different contraptions. You have a big one, a big contraption if you want a big puff, and a medium, and a small, and an itty bitty. Depending on what size ball you want, you use the different size contraption. So I was tired, worn out, trying to give it my best on everything. So I didn't remember that the size of contraption that I use for the scarf puffs is not the same size that I use for the hat. I downsized one for the hat, and I didn't remember. So I took the last of my pink yarn, I had more green, but I took the last of my pink yarn and I'm wrapping it around this contraption, wrapping, and I have no more pink yarn. I finished my puff, I put it on the hat, I try it on the hat, and I'm like, oh, that puff is too big. And I'm looking at it like, okay, look, we're always supposed to do our best, right? But there are times that I'm like, yeah, that's just not have to work. I can't take that apart. I don't have no more yarn. And then I sit and look at it and I'm like, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's too big. It's too big. And I have this little struggle with myself. Leave it. No, don't leave it. 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 Whatever, leave it, take a picture, post it on Facebook. Done. Yeah, woo. Send it to the person who's getting it. Ah, that's beautiful. Great. And then I still looked at it this morning. I got up and I got the scissors and I trimmed my ball. Like, it's too big. Trim the ball, Kai. Just trim it. And if you screw up your trimming, go buy some more pink yarn and create a smaller puff. I got up this morning and I got my scissors and I was like, trim. And I had yarn all over the floor. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm happy with that now. And now it's done. Elaine says, I believe perfecting is the only way. Chelsea says, you're best when focusing on just one thing versus more than one thing is not going to be the same. But that's right. It may not be the same. Rose says that's OCD. Yeah, Rose, it looks fine now because I trimmed it. Okay. This is a trimmed version of the ball. It was bigger. And I was like, this is too big. It's not proportioned. You're correct, Chelsea, but understanding what your best is in different circumstances will help you change the circumstances. If you want to succeed, you have to understand yourself and design things such that it matches who you are and how you do things and how you are able to succeed and how you are able to really give your best. So I have another project I'm working on, another hat that I'm knitting, and I fell asleep knitting that hat yesterday. And I don't remember what stitch I left off on. So I may very well end up having to take that apart. Now, this is going to be the second time I took it apart, but I only took it apart because I made a mistake because I forgot what stitch I was on. While I was awake doing it, I forgot what stitch I was on. Leaving the store now, I won't be able to comment. Okay, all right, Rose. So I forgot. I'm like, you know what? I can't leave it like that. Start over. Took it apart, start over. And now I fell asleep doing it. So maybe what I need to understand is you can't sit down to knit, Kai, if it's almost time for you to go to bed, because you may very well forget and you are trying to give your best. So do you want to have to take this apart? If you fall asleep in the middle of knitting, I may very well have to take it apart and start all over. So when I charge y'all for your hats and scarves, be thankful that I'm not really charging you about an hour. It's like, damn, Kai, why did it take you 24 hours literally to make this hat? Well, it took me a couple, and then I took it apart and put it back together and took it apart and put it back together, but it's perfect. How many times do you take jewelry apart, Mom? Put it together. You get the whole necklace done, and you're like, doesn't look how I want it to look. Let me start over. Maybe the idea that you had for something in your mind, it was going to work out fine. Anything. What your plan is for your road trip that you're about to take, maybe in your mind worked out fine. You realize this isn't working. Be flexible. Understand that in order to give your best in every situation, maybe you have to be a little flexible. You have to redirect yourself. Be willing to redirect yourself. Be willing to quit. Quitting is for winners. Be willing to quit and start again. Be willing to stop and start again. Don't say, oh, I already started this. I've already knitted this hat. The hat was completely done except for the final stitch. But I couldn't figure out how to finish it off right so that the final product was right. I've thrown out several caramel batches. Right. Right. And you're frustrated. You know how many cupcakes I've thrown out? You get frustrated because you're throwing out money, right, Bina? You have to buy the ingredients. You're throwing away money and you're throwing away time. But you're not throwing away your image or your reputation. That's what you're building up by being willing to throw away what doesn't work, to stop and start again. You are holding on to what is most important, which is your reputation, the quality of what you're doing. Good morning, Claudia. And trust me, there's sometimes, especially with my cupcakes, like, these aren't good enough to sell, but they're okay to eat. They're edible. That's when the family eats them. What you say? Stop whining. Who's whining? Nobody's whining. We are discussing what's necessary, Elaine. Get off your high horse, lady. What you talking about? Stop whining. There's so much that you have to be willing to throw away, willing to lose money, willing to lose time, to make sure that what you put out there represents your best, regardless of what it takes. Make sure that everything you put out there represents your best you. This isn't even just about product. Maybe you committed to go to a party and you're not in the best mood. Do you go anyway and take your nasty stank mood to that party and infect everybody at that party with your nasty stank mood? Or do you say, maybe I can't give my best today. I can't present my best me. So maybe I shouldn't go. Maybe I should stay home. I'm not going to take my nasty stankness up into somebody else's joyful celebration because this isn't the best me. I'm not going to go to work and not present the best me. I'm not going to go to my family and not present the best me. I'm not going to have a conversation and not present the best me in that conversation. If I cannot be present, I can't be there, period. If I cannot be present here, I cannot be present physically. Always, always, always do your best, be your best. Do your best, be your best. And that is a part of self-love and self-care. If you are doing your best and being your best, you will not regret. You will not beat yourself up. You will show yourself grace when things don't go the way that they're supposed to go or that you thought they were supposed to go, right? Don't settle. And I'm sitting here thinking like, wow, God, how come you didn't know that already? I used to have a friend who would say, like in dating situation, that this guy might not be Mr. Right, but he could be Mr. Right now. But doesn't Mr. Right now piss you off all the time? Like even giving your energy to a Mr. Right now when you know that it's not a Mr. Right? Is that the best you can do? This is the best I'm going to settle for you because there ain't nobody else around. When has that ever worked out for you? I want this other job, but I'm going to settle for this. I want this other life, but I'm going to settle for this type of life. I wanted to make caramels, but I'm going to eat this toffee. No, I wanted to make turtles, and I am making turtles. I will go to the store, get some more chocolate. I didn't even like how my chocolate turned out. I mean, it tastes delicious. Everything tastes delicious, but it didn't turn out how I wanted, so I will start again. I will do it again, and I will sit there and be stirring for 20 damn minutes, taking forever. Figure it out. How can I do my best? How can I be my best? How can I give my best? How can I make sure that anything I put out there represents my best? When you look at a scarf that Kai made, you're going to be like, oh, this is a hat that Kai made. You're going to be like, yeah, that's a nice hat. You're going to know I put my best into that. You're going to know I didn't there's not these errors and mistakes in it that I'm just like, let me hide that real quick. Let me hide that. Anyway, guys, that's what I have for you today. This is a short talk today. I need to do my best and be my best. My best today needs to be getting up and getting myself together, getting this house together. I'm going to pack for my road trip. I actually sat down yesterday and no, I'm going to clean the house for the road trip. Rose and I were talking about how are Black folks the only ones that I have to clean their house spotless before they go on a trip? I mean, like, you do a whole spring cleaning before you leave the house to take a trip, a weekend vacation. I have to completely clean this house. Let's clean it first. Let's clean it. Who wants to come back to a mess? Have to clean up the house after you come back from your vacation. So I'm going to do that. I have to get the house in order. I have to get some packing done and finish planning for this vacation. I'm supposed to be leaving on either Wednesday or Thursday. I have to decide. We'll still be having tea time. That's a part of the fuel that the fire that fuels me. You guys are my fuel for every day. You are my connection to the outside. And so therefore that's not going to stop. You have to come home you have to come home to a clean spot, right? Imagine coming in from a trip and you come in and the house is a wreck and you're just like, oh. You just went on a vacation to de-stress, right? Hopefully. And then you come back in and instantly hit with stress because your house looks like a wreck. No, got to clean up. So we will be cleaning up, organizing. I also have to get my son's spot ready for I'm trying to set up a separate space for him to be able to do to separate his bedroom from school. So since I'm not dedicating myself to my cupcake business right now during this pandemic, I'm going to set up part of my baking area as a study area for him. Because right now it's just not being used really. So that will be his area for studying. So I have planned for a trip to Pittsburgh. We're supposed to go to Pittsburgh and to the aviary in Pittsburgh, and then to the Hard Rock Museum in Cleveland. So we have our gear. We have our apocalyptic mask that we will use in that museum. And we have our hand sanitizer, and they're doing social distancing practices in the museum, limited number of people entering, all kinds of safety precautions that they're putting into place, that they have in place. So we'll do all that. But I need to get him out and we need to go get our puppy, and we're going to spend some time at the lake and do a lot of outdoor stuff. The only indoor thing we're going to do is that Hard Rock Museum, most likely. Most likely we'll do the Hard Rock Museum. I'm extra cautious, so I'm still thinking about that. Anyway, I'm going to get off this. I was going to say phone. I'm going to get off this talk. I just want everybody to know that my Chelsea did not dance with me yesterday, that she went to sleep. When we were supposed to do our 6 o'clock dance workout, she went to sleep. It was going to be 5:30. Chelsea was asleep. And then 6 o'clock, Chelsea was asleep. So we didn't do our dance workout. Yes, I'm putting you on blast, Chelsea. You stood me up. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful, glorious day. I don't really have much else for you today. It's one of those days. But do your best. Be your best. Put your best foot forward always. When your best is not good enough, figure out how to make it good enough. Good enough to succeed. Making sure I clarify that. Your best is always enough. Sometimes your best is not enough to succeed at what you're trying to do. I was ready. Chelsea says I was ready and waiting, but then I fell asleep. I know, Chelsea Wesley, I know. If you have not ordered your canvases for the paint and chat with us on September 19th, don't quote me on the date, but I think that's when it is. If you haven't ordered your canvases, make sure you order your canvases from Diane, and so that you're ready for that. And I will see you guys here tomorrow. Back to our regular weekday time, Monday through Friday. We are 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central and 7 a.m. Pacific. Chelsea says my body needed to nap, so I gave my body what it needed. That's good. Self-care. That's right. That's how you do it. Throw my words back at me. I know that's what you're doing, girl. I know. So 10, 9, and 7, I will see you here tomorrow. Have a wonderful, glorious day. Stay safe, stay safe, stay safe. If you are in California, please, if you have to go outside, wear your masks. Hey, Bina, Suli is not here today. Before I get off, is Bina, everything going okay with Bina in terms of with the fires? Have you heard anything? Is she good? Just answer that. Is she good? Now, she might be out doing something else, and that's okay. But with the fires going on, I want to make sure that from that, with that in mind, she's doing okay. And I'm going to wait here for you to answer my question, Bina, because I need to know. If you don't have a mask, Ace Hardware has P100 respirators. Chelsea and my son got P100 respirators yesterday. They are sold at Ace Hardware for $35. And Chelsea had it on outside. She said she couldn't smell the smoke. She was breathing perfectly fine. So I haven't heard anything, but I think she's good. Okay, good. All right. So if you don't have the P100 respirator, especially in California, please get one. Please get one. What you're breathing in and are toxins from the fires, and that's not at all healthy for you, whether you have pre-existing respiratory issues or not. It is not healthy for you. Okay, so be safe, guys. All of my California friends and family, please, please, please be safe. Take care of yourselves. Everybody, all of us, including the California folks, wash your hands. Keep your distance. Wear your mask. Have a great day, guys.